Good afternoon, family. Once again, I'm back to talk to you about autism from what I believe is a unique perspective, talking about the possibility of healing or helping your child with autism. And as I said, that's a unique perspective, kind of like a lone voice out in the dark. There are not many of us, having this type of conversation. That autism is something that is a changeable condition. I did want to just reiterate some of the stuff I said last week. And that is Dr. James Adams from the University of Arizona State did a 12-month study that shows that diet and nutritional intervention significantly improves the symptoms, cognition, digestive health, and behavior in individuals with autism. So, if you're the type of person that needs something in black and white, then by all means, take a look at Dr. James Adams and his research. And I think the great thing about this guy is that he actually has a child with autism, and that child is actually doing very well. Okay, so speaking of children with autism, my own son, Dakari, as many of you know, uh, turned 18 2 days ago. It was a big deal. If you're at the beginning of the journey, it's hard for you to conceptualize if your child is 3, uh, what my child's going to be like at 18 or 21 or whatever that age is. It seems like it's so far off. But reality is not. That time kind of flies by, and you want to make sure that you spend that time healing your child as much as you possibly can. You know, the reality is that no parent can be here forever for their child, so you want to just for prepare that child as much as you possibly can. To be independent. So, reflecting back on the journey that I had with my own son over the last 15 years, from 3 to 18, I got a chance to just take a look at, how much progress we've made. And surely we've made a lot of progress, but we're not done. I'd like to see more progress. So, basically, my son on his 18th birthday, he was content simply just to play video games and eat pizza, and have eat cake and ice cream, And I think back on my own experience, or most of our experience, at 18, you probably had like a significant other and that type of thing, and it was a big deal to try to spend time with that significant other. And that's something that my son is not in a space to do, you know. So social interaction is also one of the core issues in children with autism. I would say the three core issues are language, behavior, and socialization. And surely Dakari is doing well in terms of language and behavior, but he still needs some improvement. I would think in the areas of socialization. So today I want to talk a little bit more about what our plan is to help that come about. And like most of my improvements that I got with my son with children with autism, actually, it came through nutrition and detox. So I'm not talking about like social stories or anything like that, or that's not what I'm talking about. So I want to delve a little bit deeper into what the scientists are saying about the ability to socialize as it relates to our immune systems. Because basically, that's what I think everything is going back to. Getting the childs with autism, getting their immune systems to work in a better way. And if you're able to do that, then you will see significant changes in the core issues, which are language, behavior, and socialization. So surely I want to make the point that we have seen in our children and in our clients um, benefit in terms of socialization, language, and behavior. But it seems like the social thing is is even though we have seen progress, we could see a little bit more, and I believe it all comes back to the strength of the protocol at that time. So even though the protocol is able to bring significant changes in many of the areas, I think that we were lacking sufficient strength to see really a lot of progress in terms of the social area. Although there are some that has been made, no doubt about that. We see that with our children and with other children. But I think with the advent of the new thing that we're doing, the tryptophan, which really does a tremendous job in terms of getting the innate immune system working properly, because we were able to get that on successfully for the first time. I think that this year, 2021, is something that I'm looking forward to, because I believe we're going to see a breakthrough in that area. We are already seeing in some other children glimpses of better cognitive functioning, better speech, and better sleep, and those types of things when you add the tryptophan. But I think that it's really going to be it's really going to shine in the area of social ability once we're able to get that in on a more consistent basis. So I have some information I'd like to share with you guys about a new study about, it says, the shocking new role found for the immune system controlling social interactions. So this was published, I think, in 2016, and a startling discovery that raises fundamental questions about human behavior. Researchers at the University of Virginia School of Medicine have determined that the immune system directly affects and even controls social behavior. So this is a kind of a smoking gun, guy. This is a big deal. The brain and the adaptive immune system were thought to be isolated from each other, and any immune activity in the brain was perceived as a sign of pathology. And now, not only are we showing that they are closely interacting, but some of our behavior traits might have evolved because of our immune response to pathogens. So it's this interaction that we have with pathogens that can be negative and can be positive. So teaching our immune systems can learn from its interactions with pathogens and come out and actually have a positive response. It says the UVA researchers have shown that a specific immune molecule, interferon gamma, seems to be critical for social behavior, and that a variety of creatures such as flies, zebrafish, mice, and rats activate interferon gamma responses when they are social. Blocking the immune molecule in mice using genetic modification made regions of the brain hyperactive, causing the mice to become less social. Restoring the molecule restored the brain connectivity and behavior to normal. The researchers note that the immune molecules plays a profound role in maintaining proper social functioning. Researchers note that the malfunctioning immune system may be responsible for social deficits in numerous neurological and psychiatric disorders. So, as I was saying, my main goal for my children and my entire philosophy is about getting that immune system to function better, because I believe that that's where we're going to get the most benefits. And social is not something that's off the table. We're already seeing some degree of progress in that area. I believe when we start the tryptophan and we get that innate immune system working properly again, that we're going to see an even more profound benefit in the social area. So that's our plan. So again, just speaking about one of the reasons I'm so optimistic about the tryptophan is what we've seen already, and it's only been like I think we started back in January, so just like a month and a half or a month and 3 weeks. Personally, myself dealing with the still lingering effects of the coronavirus, I noticed that the symptoms are much more controlled when I have days, on the days that I'm using the tryptophan. So I'm excited about that. Its ability to get my immune system functioning to the point that it's able to basically quell most or all of the symptoms of coronavirus. And I don't have many of those left, by the way, but still, it's still kind of aggravating, to get these little pains from head to toe that can happen at any point, And on the days that I'm doing the on the days I'm doing the tryptophan, I notice that those symptoms are way, way better controlled. So that's coronavirus with myself, with my children, the tryptophan, and the as it relates to the autism. I'm not going to say I've seen any mind-blowing results with my children at the moment, but you got to keep in mind that my children are already functioning at a high level, But I believe, the most I've seen is with my daughter, who doesn't even have a diagnosis of autism, more like a sensory processing disorder. And she's had some areas, some issues with more anxiety, headaches, and that type of thing. And that's because the tryptophan is able to basically boost the immune system to a point that it just starts to kill off stuff, and just excessive die-off can lead to things like headaches and increased anxiety and that type of thing. Now, as far as my wife is concerned, she doesn't like me talking about it, but hey, she has diabetes, so I'm dealing with COVID. She's dealing with diabetes, and my children are dealing with autism. So I kind of said that we were doing the intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet last week, and she pointed out that that pronoun is not the correct one. It's not we, it's basically her. Okay? Because I find it difficult to stop eating past 8 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? So it's her that's doing the ketogenic diet and the intermittent fasting successfully. And I just want to say that congratulations to her. I'm so proud of her. She's been doing it about 3 weeks now. And in that 3 weeks' time, she's lost 10 pounds. Her sugar is down 50 whole points. It's an amazing thing. So I cannot attribute any of that to the tryptophan, however, because she's not taking it for fear of it causing additional inflammation, which it can do. So we're going to wait probably a few more weeks before she gets started. Now, she did do it for about 3 weeks in January. Right now, she's taking a break and focusing her efforts on the ketogenic diet and the intermittent fasting, and she's having a phenomenal results with that. So again, really proud of her. Also, get ready to hit the applause, Miles, because tomorrow is our 24th year anniversary. Yeah, give it up for that, man. And so we're learning on this journey of getting older and trying to get control over our bodies and making sure that we are healthy on this journey as we're aging, because again, man, we want to be here as long as we can possibly be here, for our children. Also, it's still Black History Month, and I'm of the opinion that with every day with a child with autism is Black History Day, because you have an opportunity to really impact the type of life that child is going to have, So every day is an important day. You want to take every day to make sure that you're making your child with autism a healthier child through the use of nutrition and detox. And there's nothing in terms of their symptoms that should be off the page in terms of off your potential perspective of getting better. Nothing about we've seen no symptoms of autism that didn't get better in our son with autism. Language, behavior, socialization, whatever you think it is, no matter how bad it is, you want to make sure, or you want to have the mindset, at least, that this child is going to get better. So a lot of times, the thing preventing the child from getting better is the parents' understanding of the situation and their belief that the child can get better, So sometimes, we even have clients that reach a plateau and then they begin to fall off and that type of thing. And that's never a good thing to do, So we're encouraging some of our older clients who may have been doing the protocol for some time and they've reached a plateau. Now is the time to get back on with the new things that we're doing. We've had improvements to the drink, to the tea, to the overall protocol. All of these things are coming together to move our children to another level. And that's what we're fighting for, getting these children to another level of functioning. And, I'm always looking for something, always looking for the next plant, because any one plant can make the difference between your child functioning very well or not, So in terms of that's my philosophy, just look under every stone. We already have like 150 plants in our green drink, about a dozen or so plants in the tea, and all together is like 50 different items on the protocol. So, but it's all worth it in the long run. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of the feedback that I got this week as the parents were just texting me. I'm encouraging you families, if you're seeing progress, to post that progress on our Facebook page. It's Dakari's Autism Protocol is the name of the page. So post don't just send me the the good news. Post it and share the good news with everybody, Right. So one of the families that sent something, sent a text saying that her child, she's been on the protocol about 5 months, so she's in the fifth stage of the protocol, that the child is interacting more in school and asking or talking, identifying, advocating for himself. I guess that's the way to say it, advocating, using his speech to advocate for himself. And that is a tremendous deal. Another family said that they've only been on the protocol a couple of weeks, and already I got a message saying that the child is saying words that they've never said before, And thirdly, a family that is on the second phase of our protocol, but really has been on the protocol quite longer than that. And sometimes when you get on the protocol, you may get stuck at a phase, and you might be on that phase for a long time. But really, it's designed for you to do 30 days on whatever phase you are, and then to go to the next phase, because eventually we want to get you to phase 5 with the tryptophan, because again, that is one of the most powerful things that you can do. And if you start when you're on phase 1, you don't stop phase 1 when you go to phase 2. You're doing phase 1 and phase 2. So that by the time you get to phase 5, you're doing 50 different things. And sometimes it's hard to juggle. It's hard for a child to juggle all of that, all those different nutrients, because everything is putting pressure on the pathogen load. So we have to be certain, or have to be careful, that when we're doing this, we're not causing so much die-off that you're seeing negative behavior. And sometimes that's a possibility. So if that occurs, then you should always be willing to make some type of change to make sure that is no longer an issue. So we never want to be killing more pathogens than the child can handle. So that's kind of like you would be doing more damage than good if that's the case. So you always want to be mindful of that. But many parents, once they start the protocol, they become kind of expert in terms of what to do and what to look out for. So if they see something negative, most people know, hey, let's just throw this child in a clay bath and get that toxic load down so they can begin to normalize. And most of the time that little simple thing can be enough to normalize behavior. Sometimes, of course, you may have to reduce the amount of something that you're giving. Because, as I said, many of these nutrients, what they do is to help the immune system function better. And all of them, sometimes not all of the nutrients can be given out on every single day. You may have to skip a day or do every other day or something like that until the child develops a tolerance to using all of these things together. But that's what I do. I kind of walk you through as a family, walk you through, hey, what's going on? And, what this is the next step to take and that type of thing. So I was saying that one of the big issues that came up for some families, not only are they dealing with autism, but they're dealing with seizures as well, So sometimes seizures are a big issue in some families that have children with autism. And the mother sent me a text. Let me see if I can get to it. Let's see. It says, okay, I'm not going to say the child's names. Blank is doing well. Their doctor suggested increasing the carnitine to twice per week. We increased the green drink to 3 drops per day. Results have been few to no seizures during the day while blank is at the therapy. There are several days he has had none at all. He doesn't have days with 4 to 6 seizures at therapy anymore. A big day with seizures is like between 4:30 and it's about 3 seizures. Generally, there are no seizures. So this is a phenomenal type of response. You know what I'm saying? If you imagine if your child is having seizures and then they begin to do a protocol and then their seizures disappear or their seizures greatly diminish, So we're excited about what that means. And again, this family is only on phase 2, so I can't imagine how the child. And this child is 16 years old. This is not a 3-year-old. You know what I'm saying? This is an older child who's had seizures, and those seizures basically disappeared after 2 months on our protocol. Give me some applause on that, man. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So this is yeah, man. This we in this for real, man. This I feel so grateful to be a part of what's happening in these families' lives, because many of them were told that there was nothing to be done. Just accept it and move along. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not my nature, man. I just cannot accept that this is what's, even as well as my children are doing right now. It could be easy to walk away and be like, hey, I did everything. Man, look, I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep. Just today, my wife was looking at something about weight loss, African mango seed. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, okay, I'm going to take a look. I took a look at it. It helps with blood sugars. It helps with the pathogen load and some other area that I could see being beneficial for children with autism. So, God put a million different plants out there, brother, and we got to be willing, to understand the connection that we have with these plants and what they can do with us to begin with, and then take advantage of it. It won't always work out. Sometimes I've had plants that look good on paper, but then when you go to use them, they could be too powerful for children with autism, or they may not be able to be used. Something like licorice root sounds good on paper, but can't use it for more than a couple weeks, So I try to stay away from anything like that. The biggest thing is to try to come up with something that can be used safely for children with autism over a long period of time. And many of the times, our protocols are using really, really small amounts of the green drink. Most families can only tolerate 1 or 2 drops of it. Really, really small amounts of many different things. So it's not about, overwhelming the child with any one supplement, I wouldn't think. It's about getting a great variety of things into these children, So it's about that variety, and we've been very successful doing that. And I really believe that this year is going to prove to be even more successful because because of the tryptophan, we're going to be pushing that envelope and seeing if social ability is something that can be that can be greatly impacted. And I know this is a big issue for many parents because. When I meet people, when I tell them, of how well my son is doing, one of the questions I always get is, well, how many friends does he have? You know what I'm saying? So for some reason, this is a big criteria, and I can understand that, but this is the best year that we'll have in terms of getting the pathogen load down. We made a lot of significant changes to our protocol. Just because I had the symptoms of COVID-19. And I was like, hey, man, let's make it. I was like, let's look under every rock now because I basically don't want to die out here. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave my family behind. And so I had to make a lot of different improvements. And that turns out to be something that is that has been helpful for our families, for our families that are on the protocol, getting that new batch of green drink to a point where it can kill more without killing too much, and that's a learning process. Sometimes, as we're introducing these plants, some of them are so powerful that they don't work because they cause too much die-off. So it's about finding the right dosages. When I leave here, I'm going to meet a client that's been doing this for 8 years, and we haven't seen the most phenomenal results when it's an older child and adult, but we haven't seen a phenomenal turnaround in that adult. We've made sporadic improvement, but I think that with an improved drink and with improved protocol, that we're going to begin to see positives in those children that were slow to respond, So if you do not know how to reach out to me, it's 313-528-9240. That's my cell phone, business cell phone. You can go to Max Autism to look at some of the testimonies, or look on YouTube. Definitely go to Facebook to the page that you're seeing this on, Maximize Autistic Potential. We also have a private page, Dakari's Autism Protocol, where you can see some of the current testimonials from people that are currently on the protocol. So thanks for checking us out again. And I can't wait to continue getting this message to you each and every week. I think we've settled on 1:30. That's right, Miles? We settled on 1:30. Your brother was getting here about 1:10 every weekend, so that was on me. So Miles made an adjustment for me. We're going to do it at 1:30. We're going to get in where we fit in, But hopefully, this is encouraging you guys out there to fight for your child with autism. It's possible.